we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have, we didn't have anything like you have
Like
now
your
with social
children have
media.
now, right.
It didn't even, I mean, honestly, we barely had anything that resembled internet except for websites to go and buy shit.
Right.
And most of the time they were in books. You had to look up a book. And,
like a catalog.
People that are
you get in
young,
the
watch
mail.
out, guys. Sorry that this is, But yeah, so it was like, so we were at this bike shop at night, and we thought we might have partaked in something that was of a liquid persuasion. Kids don't do that after hours. A couple of us got a little more
adventurous,
hydrated than others.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So we were overly hydrated with liquid refreshment.
Okay. That
maybe
was
a
not
sugar
water.
High. Yeah, it's probably soda, a sugar high. That's what it was. We were all, and we do stupid shit. And one of us had a pair of shorts on. And when I think we actually were working at the same time, catching up shit. If I don't remember, like
putting
maybe
stuff together.
It was either we're putting stuff together. It was like during a Christmas time,
or
we were doing some bikes up for like the rentals or whatever. Playing catch up.
Fair enough.
And when you're working on bikes, you have cleaner. That's back then. It wasn't like now where everybody's like, oh, don't get the chlorinated one or don't use the one that's got gas in it or whatever.
Sure, right, yeah.
And so you're spraying the shit down with practically brake cleaner, which is like something that you could use to drive your car.
Okay.
And it's all over the floor. And with the WD-40 and everything else.
Oh, fire hazard.
And I can't remember exactly who it was. It might have been Scotty. It might have been Lil Brian. Might have been Scott, the other Scotty, but one of them was sitting. It wasn't a rich boy. It had to be one of them two. And they sat. They were cleaning, and they sat in the. It had to be Lil Brian, because he was always there. He lived down the street.
Yeah.
And he sat in the oil that was on there.
No.
So we were sitting there like, oh, this is interesting. So it's like, hey, your pants are on fire. It's like, and so. Because I was so hydrated and not thinking clearly because of all the sugar in my head, I thought, well, we have this a little blowtorch here, like you use for propane to heat up something.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And we'll put it on low, and we'll just, so you don't go home with wet pants or you're going anywhere. Yeah. We'll just heat up the back of your pants real quick. And warm up your pants.
Great idea.
Well, they ignited.
Yeah.
And there was two big ass butt cheeks in these shorts. So we're like, oh shit, we caught on fire.
Flammable.
The friggin' smoke alarm's going off.
Nice.
So now I'm like, oh shit, we put them out.
Yeah.
And then after we put them out, we went out. We're like, oh shit! Well, we can't stay in here.
Right. Yeah.
So let's vent it. So I had the fan going on the back door,
clear the smoke,
and we went outside. Just to sit outside. So if a cop came or the fireman came, we didn't know who was going to show up.
Right.
We didn't realize the alarm was.
Cover our bases.
We didn't realize the fire thing was just for the building.
That's good.
And it went off eventually, but we were walking around outside, and of course. I am very hydrated, so I need to relieve myself. Mm-mm. So we thought it would be kind of funny to pee on cars. So, yes. So I believe Lil Brian with his assless chaps went out there first, and he in his car drives by and goes, hey, guys, look at this. I bet you $5 that you will not go out there and pee on the next car. So he's standing out there, okay. And he's sitting out there, and car comes by, and you just hear as he drives by. And we're like, oh, that's hilarious.
Guy probably thinks he ran into a sprinkler or something.
So Brian's like, oh, good, give me another $5. I'm like, no, I want to do it now. So I go out there, and I go to whip it out, and I'm waiting, like I'm just sitting there. And it's like, just act like you're walking down the street there. There's a little sidewalk in front of the bike shop.
Sure.
And it's like, okay. And I'm like, all right. So we're sitting there walking down the street, and all of a sudden I see a headlight, and all I hear is, no. and I thought they said go, and I turned around and I whipped it out and psh, woo! I peed on the motorcycle, the only motorcycle cop in this little town that did not like me very well as it was.
I can't imagine why. And was this also Rubber Ball Cop?
No, this wasn't a Rubber Ball Cop. Like, this was the net. For the people that know us, and like Scotty knows, it was the island next to us, was even smaller police department.
Sure.
And the biggest asshole cop that's on that force.
Yeah.
And those cops were dicks anyway. But this was like the king dick of the whole friggin'.
Oh yeah.
And I just pissed all over this guy.
Right.
I mean, I just unloaded on him because I had to go bad, and I just unloaded on this guy, and he pulls over. And the first thing he does, he's wiping the side of his off his because he's got a helmet on, so he's wiping his neck off because it hit the
it splashed.
It splattered,
everywhere.
yeah, and it just hit. It just splattered all over the fairing of the motorcycle. Hit him and then went right down the side of him, and so he's wiping it off. He's like, because that's the first thing. He's like, oh, what is that? He's smelling it, and I just fucking run behind the building and just kept running and kept running, and it was like,
holy cow,
they were looking for me for hours.
I can't imagine why.
but here's where the funny part comes in. It was Lil Brian and this other guy are still there. They're just standing and sitting there like, and Brian's got assless chips. We're sitting there like, I don't know who it was. And they go, bullshit, you know, like we went,
where's your friend? What friend?
So the next day, I'm at the bike shop because it's like on a Friday, so on a Saturday, I'm opening up, and Brian's like, man, that wasn't cool, man. That just wasn't cool, buddy.
Oh, that wasn't cool.
That wasn't cool at all, man. Like, why? He goes, you left. He goes, I'm just sitting there, and this guy's, you know. And I guess Lil Brian was the reason why the cop was out there is because he peed on the car, and the car called the cops.
Oh no!
And then the cops came out to check it out, and I peed on the car. So Ray got in trouble, and he's like 12. And they take him out. I just imagine what his dad thought. He's getting pulled over he's getting brought home by the cops at midnight with no shorts on his ass.
Yeah, right.
Just a pair of butt cheeks.
Oh.